Well, how y'all are this afternoon? It's your buddy George Jones over here at the Albergan Gun Range with my next installment on, hey, I got this old used gun. The old used gun I got today, it's this guy, the P08 Luger. The Luger, yeah, it's been a long time, and I've been trying to find somebody that actually loaned me a Luger to go out and shoot, because I don't own one myself. This is in fact a P08 Luger. This is a pretty good example of a P08. It is somewhat matching, as they say. Every part on a Luger is serialized with the last two digits of the serial number, and then the serial number of the gun actually appears up here by the side plate. Okay. This one is a relatively low serial number range, but they had them in series. You know, the first Luger wasn't 000001, and the last one was 35 billion. You know, they would actually manufacture them in series, and then they would be interrupted as the manufacturer for the Luger changed. This manufacturer code is 42. I believe that's Mauser. I'm not sure. It might be Irma. It might be anything. I'm not an expert on manufacturing codes and that sort of thing. It's also stamped BYF on the toggle. Now let's talk about this thing for a minute from a safety standpoint. The Luger has a safety on it back here in the back, and on here is the word Gesundheit. That means safety. If you can see the word Gesundheit, that means the gun is on safe. Okay, let's try that. I'll snap it. Yeah. And when the word Gesundheit is covered, that means that it's ready to fire. Okay. Okay, like that. Now, up here on the toggle action on the bolt is the extractor. And if you raise that up, or when it's loaded and it's got a round-in chamber, that will elevate and expose a small writing on it that says geladen. That means loaded. Okay, we'll try that out right here. The Luger is an interesting gun. They manufactured these from about 1907 to about 1942 or 43 when the Germans adopted the P08. The P08 is a much better gun. I've owned one or two Lugers in my life. I never really cared for them. Not to say that they aren't a fine gun, and they certainly are, but they're massively overbuilt and overcomplicated. Now, there's a huge collector following on the Luger, to the point of some sort of mental illness. I like to refer to it as the toggle gun vortex. They get in this toggle gun vortex and they go around and around and around, and all they think about is Lugers. Or they find Papa's Luger, you know, and it might actually be worth $5,000. More likely it'll be worth $500. Old beater Lugers, you know, typically people think they're worth a lot of money. I saw a Luger, I don't know, last month or so, that had been sterilized. That means that all the manufacturer's codes, all of the dates, all of the letters, all of the serial numbers, except for the one on the frame, had been removed, polished off. They'd even polished off the stock fastener back here on the back, the stock lock. They'd even polished that off, ground it off. The reason why they did that was because a lot of European police agencies were trying to get back on their feet at the end of World War II, and there just wasn't enough damn handguns to go around. most European countries had adopted laws outlawing Nazi markings, Nazi material, and so forth. So they would take a bunch of Nazi marked, well marked, well identifiable, well provenanced Lugers, and they would take all of the markings off of them and sterilize them and put them into service. And you see these around from time to time. They're worth $500, maybe $600. This old boy, he had paid $1,500 for this thing. Thought he'd gotten a real steal, and it turns out he had taken his $1,500 and turned it into $400, which is what he got out of it. So, you know, just be careful when you're dealing with this stuff that's highly collectible, because, you know, if you're not a slap dab expert, you might go to the farm. Now, I'm telling you, you have to take a bath on it, go to the woodshed. All right, let's get along here. As a defensive firearm, you probably wouldn't carry a Luger. I know a guy that carries a Luger, but as a defensive firearm, it's probably a little bit too complicated, but it does shoot. Let's try it a little bit. 25-yard chest center, and it's a hit. 25-yard chest center, and it's a hit. 25-yard chest center, and it's a hit. It's a hit. Yeah, boy. Locks back, up like that. Stays locked back. Let's try and get 8 more rounds of this thing right quick before we time out. Luger has a loading tool. If you ain't got one, they're kind of a hard thing to load. Got a little bitty button and a lot of magazine spring tension. You can actually get tired trying to load the thing, like me. You know, get you a spent shell case or something, stick on there. Give you a little bit more thumb power. There you go. Get one more in it. I think that's loaded. I think it's good. Yeah, it's Galati now. Locks back. Stick you another magazine in it. Pull your toggle back. Pull your toggle back and let it go. You're ready to go again. Let's see if we can get 8 more in it. Yeah. Overall, to tell you the truth, the Luger is a real fine gun. Every one I ever saw, every one I ever had an opportunity to shoot, regardless of its condition, worked, and worked correctly. Not a whole lot you can say about it. You could go on for hours and hours about manufacturers' codes and matching Lugers and various sundry variations on the gun, carbine, artillery link, naval link, snail drums. You know, you could go on and about it for hours. But when it comes down to it, even though I don't particularly care for them, there's a lot of people that love Lugers, and it's an outstanding gun. It's in one of the top 10 semi-automatic handguns ever designed. Is the Luger. Well, that's about the size of it, boys and girls. Check the description below if you can find it, the old Patreon link. If you like my content, help me out a little bit. If you like my content and you don't want to put any money behind it, that's fine too. Like a tape, share a fi, commentate, subscribe. Get your buddies to subscribe. When I hit 1,000, hey, I'm giving away a free gun. All ATF rules apply, but I'm giving away a gun. So that's about the size of it. That's, hey, I got this old used gun, Luger edition. We'll see y'all. Bye now.